Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Veterans Views Radio Show in beautiful Hammond, Indiana. We're at the Bunker, WJOB, 1230 AM, 1047 FM. And we want to welcome you to our long-standing volunteer force veterans service show that we bring on and represent current military news as well as benefits for the veterans all around Northwest Indiana and the Chicagoland area. We've been on for 17 years. This is my co-host, Donna Ostrander.
Good morning.
Commander, Marine, once Marine, always
Hoorah.
Marine. And I am Robert Rockwell, Chief Warrant Officer for the U.S. Army. So we are here to talk about a few different topics. Today we're going to get kicked off with some a little bit of a, I say, debatable or contemplational subject matter that is referring to us joining forces with other militaries. So around the world, of course, we do joint exercises with everyone, but on the scale of actually combining weapons development and things along those lines, I'm going to let Donna take it away. She chose this topic this morning. I think it's going to be a great one for all us to discuss, especially with everything that's going on in the world.
All right. Thanks, Robert.
Yep.
All right. So what's going on is buried in the House's version of the National Defense Authorization Act of 2027. There's a section 224 entitled United States-Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. It's supposed to, what they want to do is it lays the groundwork for bilateral research, development, co-production of weapons, joint ventures, licensing agreements, and just about any other way you can communicate
so co-production of weapons, that's something interesting because typically we're like either selling or you know, relaying or borrowing, whatever the case may be, but co-production I think is somewhat of a new concept.
Yeah, and we already give them $200 billion, you know. We've already given them $200 billion for their military. I mean, I don't know why we keep giving them money, but that's a whole other show. So the U.S. is the number one arms dealer in the world. So we sell arms to just about anybody. But what this bill would do is it would fuse the U.S. and Israeli defense sectors, like autonomous systems, cyber, and it brings even more Israeli influence into the U.S.
Yeah, you would assume because now they have a dabble in a little section of our DOD, right? Right.
So how, I mean, you know, the government never sticks, you know, they have, okay, this is in this bill this time. And, you know, next year we're going to expand it. And pretty soon our military will be run by the Israeli government.
Is this a bill that's been passed or just presented?
No, it's in the House version right now.
Okay.
Then it's got to go to the Senate, and then if it passes the Senate, then it's got to go to the president.
I think this is a really important subject that, honestly, the majority of the public probably doesn't know anything about.
Right.
And these are things that they slip in these bills that I think if it was popular or on mainstream news, it wouldn't be supported.
Right. And Israel already has co-production facilities in Mississippi and Arkansas, which I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So it kind of goes down the rabbit hole and expands on it.
Yeah.
Now, it's nothing new to partner with foreign countries. Okay?
We do that with NATO.
Right. And not just NATO. Of course, we do joint exercises with countries all over the world, but even particularly like the UAE, one of their battalions is being trained in the U.S. to fall under U.S. command. So even integrating troops in certain levels. But I think where the biggest disconnect here is, I don't think a whole lot of people are in support of us backing it financially, but even militarily.
Yeah.
Some of what Israel is doing is not our business.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what it comes down to.
And then it would be our business.
Yeah, if we have some sort of monetary obligation, because they're a part of our defense budget in that manner or whatever.
They'd be part of our defense infrastructure.
Yeah.
And then what happens if let's say, for example, somebody attacks us and we want to go to war with them, and Israel's like, no, you can't do that. You know, I mean, where's the line?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there is one. And then in this article that I've been reading about, this is basically going to strip away political and diplomatic oversight as well, because it's going to be moved from a visual annual aid into the defense acquisition half of the NDAA, and oversight is limited there. They have a lot of black projects.
Oh, sure.
And there's there's very little political accountability for the defense budget. So
top secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd have a relationship that is simultaneously at the same time is deeper relationship, and it's less transparent.
What I would say is to any of the callers out there, you can give us a call at
219-845-1100. 219-845-1100.
Give us a call and let us know your thoughts, because in my mind, I just don't like integrating foreign adversaries. And I think that history would tell us that, these superpowers over, the last few thousand years of documented history, when they join forces with others, typically, for long-term or short-term gains, it doesn't ever really pan out too well for one or the other, right?
Somebody always loses.
Somebody in that partnership typically falls short. And I want to say, like, what is Israel given to us?
Exactly.
This?
Yeah.
I always hear about how much we do for them and this and that. Like, is it they're sharing oil with us? Are they sharing natural resources?
No.
Or do they, minerals?
They don't give us anything,
like,
and we just keep giving them money.
It just doesn't make
any
sense,
right?
No,
and the thing is,
humanitarian aid is completely different,
right?
You
exactly.
know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I hope this fires up some of the callers out there. I hope this fires up the region. They put this stuff in these bills that,
and they hope nobody sees it.
Right. It's just not public knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not on the mainstream media.
Right. And
I don't agree with it.
I don't either. And Israel has way too much influence in our government already. If you look at AIPAC, their lobbying arm, which makes me upset because they don't have to register as a lobbyist. They're the only country that lobbies our government that doesn't have to register as a foreign agent. The only country. And, they were the ones who put millions of dollars in the campaign to get rid of Thomas Massey. So they have a lot of sway in our government. And here's the thing that Indiana people probably don't know is that Congressman Stutzman from Indiana District 3 is the one who made this. Well, he didn't make it. Let me put it this way. He went to Israel, met with Netanyahu, came back, and then wrote it. So who do you think really wrote it?
Yeah, I'll say that Israel, I mean, even their modern nation isn't that old.
Right.
I mean, it's right towards the end of World War II, which I feel like flew under the radar for a lot of people in 1948. That they're such a new nation. And although the U.S. has recognized them since, many nations have not.
Right.
And so what is the benefit for us? What are we getting out of this? I really have to go behind the curtain and figure it out. There's got to be a plus for the U.S.
to
be so involved
in another
with their business. Set aside humanitarian aid, set aside equal rights for Jewish or anti-Semitism, set aside, and again, I'm not trying to discredit, because there is a lot of that in the world. Right. But when it comes to foreign countries and combining Department of Defense budgets, that is a next level step beyond supporting racism. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And both of our Indiana senators have taken over $250,000 from Israel. Both of them.
Oh, it is like a campaign fundraiser type.
Supposedly. Yeah. Even Frank Mervan has taken over $100,000 from them.
From Israel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they have a lot of money.
Well, sure.
It's our money, and I know we've discussed this on the show before. Israel can give their people housing, free college, free health care, and we pay for it all.
Wow.
But we can't provide that to our own people.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I don't know the details of any of the statements you just made, but I'll say that, do your own research out there and make your own judgment on it, because when things like this come out, okay, and when the news is ready to report that now we are, sharing a military budget with a foreign adversary at a level of agreement and non-disclosure, meaning that it's going to be TS or top secret or you need security clearances to know the details, like that worries me. Obviously, there is sectors of the U.S. government that we don't even know about, or need to know basis.
Right, and
they say that even presidents don't know everything. Sometimes there's just so many different categories of the government.
And the Pentagon budget has already got so much black ops in it that nobody ever sees where that money goes.
Right.
So this and nobody's really overwatching it. The Pentagon hasn't been able to pass an audit in 15 years.
Yeah.
I
mean, we could keep going and going and going down the again different subjects of non-disclosure.
Yeah.
Because it seems like every day, whether the press releases it or not, it seems like every day another scientist, a nuclear scientist, is missing, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just,
I know.
And people try to get it out there on social media stuff right now, but it's hard to believe anything these days of what you hear. So we got a caller?
Yep.
All right, we got a couple callers. Thanks for calling in. You're on Veterans Views Radio Show.
Hi, my name is Xander. I'm calling to let you guys know about a military motorcycle ride we have coming up next week.
Okay.
It is for 22 a day. As you guys know the statistic, 22 veterans a day take their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's to help raise awareness for that. It's going to be at the Lowell VFW.
Okay.
It is $30 per rider and $40 with passenger, but if you don't want to ride, you can come out and pay $10 and it'll get you a wristband for having a meal.
Okay.
Awesome.
Now, what time does it start?
Kickstands up at 11, registration at 9.
Okay, and this is Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday the 13th.
Okay, the 13th. Okay, great.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Yeah. All right, we will make sure we
How's
mention
the
this.
attendance? Have you got a lot going so far?
We have a lot of baskets. There's going to be a live band actually, and there's usually a lot of bikes for it. So
awesome.
Okay, awesome. All right, we'll make sure to keep passing it or mentioning this up until the 13th.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, you're very welcome. Thank you for doing this. Okay.
Yeah. So then we got another caller on hold. Yeah, we'll go ahead and let him on. Hey, caller, you're on Veterans Views Radio Show.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I am a veteran, and some of the stuff that I see going on with veterans, I hear you all talking about giving money to other countries, and I think it's gotten out of hand because we have people in this country, including the veterans, is not being paid for what some of them was injured in the war and everything, and they're not being compensated. And apparently the problem, and people I know they're gonna say, well, he's getting into politics. What I'm seeing right now, that right now they just have no respect for veterans. The commander in chief, when he said loser, one guy was a loser. I guess it was
he was talking about McCain.
John McCain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, for him to say the things that he say about veterans, how can he be commander in chief? I'm just saying it's terrible, and I applaud. I think that you all are coming on this one veteran views and stuff like that. But I'm just happen to be one of many veterans. I attend veterans things right now. Matter of fact, I got one in Lake Station. I think this tomorrow.
Okay.
And people trying to get compensation for what? And of course, I have a POA because sometimes we go to the veterans thing in Crown Point, and they fight this thing, but the POA, they take care of everything that I want, and it's good that we have people POA for that in case if the people who is commander in chief is denying us some benefits, then we ought to be able to say. And again, we're in wars. I was in the Vietnam. I'm a Vietnam veteran, and they said it was a conflict, but it was a war.
Yeah.
Now we're in another war, and the guy that ran for president indicated that he was against wars. But again, he's the biggest pimp in the world, or he know how to pimp the public. And I know people gonna say, there you go again. Yes, I'm going there because I don't like the direction in this country is going under the leadership of Donald Trump. I really don't.
Okay.
When you talk about giving a person, and this has nothing to do with veterans, I guess it has some veterans. When you're talking about overthrowing the government, and I'm talking about the insurrection and giving them now the government wants to give them some money, saying that they were treated wrong. What the hell were they treated wrong when somebody go in and defecate on Nancy Pelosi's desk and overthrowing the government? So I don't want to try. I'm just saying I know you are on veteran views, but I'm just simply saying that everything he's doing is trying to do everything to help. We have a lot of homeless veterans in this country. Mm-hmm. Now we have one of the nicest veterans facilities in Gary, Indiana, Northwest Indiana. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And where they could go in and stuff like that. That's a good thing, you know.
Right.
So we just need more things like this, and I think we're being treated wrong. That's just my opinion by this administration. So I'm gonna go on. That's just you and my two little bit because I could come on and have a whole show with you and talk about when I was in Vietnam and stuff like that and the thing. And they did not appreciate this man. They said go home, and we here to save. And now today it's Ho Chi Minh cities.
Right.
It was Saigon. Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
It's Ho Chi Minh City. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so again, we blow up. Now we're gonna blow up thing, and we're gonna send our troops over there to Iran. I have no problem with Iran, and yes, I don't agree with thinking Iran would blow us up with the you know what I'm talking about.
The nuclear weapons.
Nuclear weapon, that's a danger. But who is to say Russia don't have them?
Oh, Russia does have them.
But Russia's just playing. Yeah, well, Russia's just playing. He ain't said nothing about that. And this guy in Israel, Netanyahu, his people don't even go along with him, what stuff he's doing.
Right.
So I'm just simply saying that I'm just glad because if I was age go into the army, I'm sure they would probably try to get me in there now just based on me talking against the government. But I'm too damn old to go. So Donald Trump, you come at me. I'm too damn old. I'm 79 years old. So you don't. I refuse to go now. Okay. Well, y'all have a great day.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. All right. We got another caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on Veterans Views.
Hey, good morning, Donna.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Joe.
Chief Warrant Officer Bobby, how are you, sir?
All right. How are you?
All right. Well, not too bad for a Friday morning. This is Joey from American Legion Post 54. Mm-hmm. I'm just calling to let you know a week from tomorrow is the second Saturday of the month, and of course that's when we all get together for our veterans breakfast over there at the Cafe Stellulose in Maryville. Address is 7454 South Broadway. We all get together, have a meal, we talk, and have a good time. Start at 8 o'clock in the morning, so all veterans are welcome. 8 o'clock in the morning, Donna. You've been with us and stuff like that.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys will join us in 2 weeks. I mean, I'll do it today, and then I'll probably do it next week just as a recap and stuff like that to see who's all available and stuff like that. But you guys, you're all more than welcome, and bring a friend, bring another veteran with you, stuff like that. And we have a really nice time with the mixture, with the camaraderie of people we have, and we've got young, we've got old and stuff like that, between the difference in stories and everything else, it's a nice day to spend with your fellow veterans and stuff like that, and enjoy a meal, Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Joey.
All right, guys. Have a good weekend.
You
okay.
too.
All right. Take care. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So for the first time Wednesday, Congress approved the War Powers Resolution that would halt U.S. military actions against Iran. A handful of Republicans and Democrats to end the 3-month-long conflict, reorder politics at home and the abroad. So what is this about? Is that the
was that just in the House or?
Approved the Wars Power Resolution. The House on Wednesday. So obviously that's got to go to another level, but it's you've got Republican representatives speaking out. it's time for the president to do the right thing. They said the people are tired of suffering because of this war at the gas pump. So is this going to be a defining moment that gives Congress back the essential approval rights to the president going into any conflict or war that they want? I think that's been like that for
too long,
a long time now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Since when? Since was 9/11 or way before?
No,
that?
it was before that.
Okay.
That's how we got into Grenada, and where else did we go? South America, Nicaragua. That's how we got into all those conflicts after Vietnam.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, and I haven't heard really. I guess I haven't turned on the mainstream media in the last couple of days because this is fairly new. But I feel like that would take the ability of quick reaction away in some elements, but also it's going to add such a political barrier to moving quickly into any sort of conflict moving forward if they are to actually pass this. I mean, so agree with it or not, it looks like something's coming up the pike for that, and I think that sometimes in certain circumstances, since that kind of has been bypassed and by saying, hey, it's not truly a declaration of war, it's just like a conflict, but then we call these things wars, right?
Like Vietnam and Korea. Korea was supposed to be a police action. There was no policing going on, and it's time that Congress takes their authority back. According to the Constitution, only Congress can declare war, which is the way it should be, and I think a lot of people are just tired of us being the world's policemen. If somebody's got a conflict and it benefits us somehow, we'll go fight. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think we need to be the world's policemen. We need to take care of our own country before we start doing that stuff. Now, if we are attacked, like at 9/11, of course Congress is going to go and and they should, rightfully so. We should have declared war after 9/11, but who do you declare war on? It's a terrorist attack. So that was a pretty complicated issue,
Yeah. It just, everything seems to have like this blanket over it of misinformation. I can never truly understand. I mean, yesterday the president was talking about the only countries that have the capabilities to retrieve the uranium from Iran's buried nuclear sites is China and the U.S.
Yeah.
So, like, when we make statements like that, is China an ally in this endeavor?
Yeah.
Or are they just the only country that has the capability to do so? Because I feel like with, again, the blanket of misinformation, we all assume that Chinese is not our true ally, right? And we're always in competition with them. But why are they in the? I would say I wouldn't
trust them to take that uranium.
That would be I feel like a top secret site.
Yeah,
right.
I wouldn't trust them to take that uranium, and China just recently threatened to release. They said they had a copy of the Epstein files and they're going to release it. I'm like, well, then stop saying you're going to release it.
I heard about that too.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they will. But what do I know? I mean, I'm no expert on China.
Anything that these foreign militaries can get as a one-upper on the U.S.
Oh, yeah, if they get leverage,
leverage so that we can maybe bend to their will in some way. Yeah. It's all related to military action. And this all comes back here on Veterans Views to the fact that we've served. And really that all of these things are pertinent to the future of our safety, of our service members, men and women in all different branches of the armed forces. Mm-hmm. And my thoughts go out to them as like, this is not a new thing for us to be in everybody's business all over the world, right? It's just so publicized now more than ever with social media and misinformation and blankets of hidden realities.
Right. And so many people just read the headline. Mm-hmm. They never, or they'll read an article that supports their point of view instead of looking at the other point of view.
Right.
Because
one-sided.
Right, because there's a little bit of truth in each one, and the truth is usually right there in the middle. But people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear anything that doesn't go along with their own personal narrative, and which I think is wrong. How are we going to learn and grow if we don't look at both sides of the issue? And
I agree. It's just it is what it is. This country's more divided now than ever.
Yeah.
United we stand, divided we fall.
Absolutely.
And that's a great quote that goes all the way back to Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
And hey, when Great Britain needed us in World War II and we showed up, right? Like that stuff should not be forgotten.
Absolutely.
And just because our country doesn't have standing leadership for years and years and years, other than our Congress and Senate, but like the president changes every 4 to 8 years, right?
Right.
So our representation around the world is portrayed differently almost every decade.
Right. And the thing that some people don't understand is it's a peaceful transition of power, which a lot of countries don't have. They have to fight to get somebody new in there. I mean, and literally fight, not just by voting, but literally weapons, to get somebody else in there. And, speaking of World War II, I saw a great movie this week.
Oh, really?
Called Pressure.
Somebody else told me about this.
Yes, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Really?
It tells the story of D-Day from a different perspective, from the perspective of all things, the weatherman. Brendan Fraser plays Ike. He does a phenomenal job.
Oh, yeah.
He does a phenomenal job of playing Ike. And it's very, you can see the pressure that they went through, because D-Day was supposed to be on the 5th. Not on the 6th. But they had these two chief meteorologists fighting with each other on what the weather was going to be. One said it was going to be sunny. The other guy was like, no, it's going to rain. It's going to be a storm. And the guy that said it was going to storm was correct.
Uh-huh.
And so they went the next day. And I remember reading somewhere where at the beginning of the weather was pretty rough at the beginning, but then it was like the clouds opened up. And they were able to complete their mission, obviously. And, being a history person, it makes me think, how different would things be if that landing had been unsuccessful? If they had went on the 5th, they wouldn't have been successful because the waves were too high. There was no visibility for air support or nothing like that. So and we had a practice D-Day, which a lot of people don't know about, on the shores of England. And it was a disaster. And it all came down to a lack of communication. They had these green troops basically right out of boot camp. And Ike wanted to give them the sense of what it's really going to be like when they land. Well, they were supposed to bomb the beach first. And then I guess there was some kind of weather glitch or something happened and they didn't start on time. And for whatever reason, our troops were not on the same radio channel as the English troops, and they didn't know that it started later. So our people were landing when the beach was getting bombed. And we lost a couple hundred soldiers that day.
Wow.
Yeah, in a practice exercise.
Oh, geez.
That, of course, it was top secret at the time. And in the movie, you learn about how the next optimal day was supposed to be 2 weeks later on the 18th of June. And they're like, we cannot keep these people quiet for 2 weeks. The troops, I mean. Mm-hmm. We can't keep them sequestered and keep everybody contained for 2 weeks. The word's going to get out. And he's right, because if the Germans had access to what exactly was going on during D-Day, it wouldn't have succeeded, because Hitler thought we were landing further north, because they did an awesome thing. They had fake tanks, fake troops, and they were basically, you could just pick them up and move them. They blew them up.
I heard about this. They're like balloons.
Yeah, they're like balloons.
Oh, yeah.
And then they put cami nets over a lot of stuff to make it look like it was some kind of encampment or something. There was nothing under there. So they did it. They did a phenomenal job, and Hitler thought we were coming further north in France than we were.
So he said, like, the Blitzkrieg, which is how they dominated the war for so long, they sent the Blitzkrieg strategy towards that direction, and we almost like flanked them.
Yeah.
With the dummy stuff.
Yeah.
I've heard that story before. That's
It's
really
it's
awesome.
an amazing strategy, you know, and it reminds me of Stormin' Norman during the first Gulf War, when he convinced everybody that we were going to make an amphibious landing, and we didn't. We came around and flanked them from behind.
Yeah.
So they're all pointing towards the ocean, waiting for everybody to come ashore, and that didn't happen.
Well, that's a situation when we look back in history, and one of my friends and clients, her father's a World War II veteran. He lives over here in Gary, right on the other side of the bridge from Hessville, and he's 99 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, he did the honor flight, and he's it's just it's great to be able to sit down with this guy.
Yeah, I'd love to hear his story.
It just, you think about, in that time, there was no, let me sit down with the leader and negotiate a ceasefire.
Right.
It's like, we need to destroy this evil regime. It
Yeah.
was good versus evil, and then just because it had so many terrible, horrific things that set back humanity for years and years and years and decades, but progressed our industrial revolution because the goal was to unite and fight against that evil, right? And so, but my thought is, when I say that, is we're talking about the meetings in Iran with their supreme leader now, and that new supreme leader is the son of the Ayatollah that had passed away. He was 94 years old.
Well, we killed him.
Right, we killed him. Right,
Yeah.
passed away. We killed him. But the new dude's name is what the heck is his name? It's Ayatollah. So he's named after this guy, Khamenei.
Right.
And so, like, it's one of his sons, right?
Yeah.
And he never wanted him to be a leader when he was, or never wanted him to be the supreme leader when he was alive. It took us to kill him for this guy to be put in place. But then the media portrays that we've killed so many different levels of their leadership. How is this dude the son of him?
Well, they don't know.
Like,
they don't know if he's really alive or not, because nobody's seen him since the end of February, since the war started.
yeah, but they're saying that The Hill, and then Fox News and all these different sites here, the Times, they're saying that Trump is willing to sit down with a respectful meeting to talk about a ceasefire with this guy. So I don't know if he would.
Well,
be talking to you if you know he's
that's
dead
a
or
way
not.
to make Iran
pull him out of his hole.
pull him out of his hole and verify if he's alive or not.
Yeah,
because nobody knows.
Didn't we do something like this at the beginning of this conflict, where we got together a bunch of their leaders? This is me quoting a story that I read months ago, so it's not exact, but we got together a bunch of their leaders and then we airstruck them.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
we didn't get them together. They met after we killed the Ayatollah, the original Ayatollah, and we killed him, and then everybody got together and met, and then we bombed that building. Somehow we knew.
Oh, somehow we knew.
Yeah.
Insider.
So we didn't bring them together. They just got together. You know,
A lot
to
of
figure out what they're going to do.
Secret agent stuff going on. Yeah, especially with Israel.
And you know that meeting, was supposed to determine what's going on next, but the civilian side of their government, I guess, I don't know if they call him a prime minister or what he was called, president, but he resigned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the military is completely in charge of the country now. So that's going to be interesting. And I was reading an article the other day, and they were talking about how their military is not getting paid. A lot of people aren't getting paid right now. And speaking of getting paid, we need to pay some people.
Okay. Yeah, here we go.
We got some sponsors we need to bring up, because as some people know and some people may not know, is that we are 100% volunteers, and without our sponsors, we wouldn't even be on the air. So a huge shout out and a huge thank you to all of our sponsors who continue to support us through the years. Veterans Views was founded by American Legion Hammond Victory Post 168. So we have Calumet Breweries. It's 6535 Osborne Avenue in Hammond. You can reach them at 219-845-2242. We have Calumet Park and Funeral Chapel. They're always supporting our veterans. You can call them at 219-769-8803 for special veteran savings on complete burial packages. And if you've never been to Calumet Park, my mom is out there. It's a beautiful place, and they always win awards for how beautiful their cemetery is. So I know when you're passed away, you really don't care, but it gives your family someplace.
Oh, it's a great place to respect veterans, and
yes,
they do a great
their veteran
service.
park is phenomenal. Yeah,
absolutely.
We have DAV Chapter 17. They meet the first Thursday of the month at 1900 at 5820 Holman Avenue in Hammond. DAV Chapter 80. They meet the second Friday in Cedar Lake at 13050 Washington Street in Cedar Lake. Laborers International Union of North America 41. They are 500 Superior Street in Munster, 219-924-7922. And then we have the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 721. They meet the second Thursday at 1900 at 5820 Holman Avenue in Hammond. All right, that's it for now for those.
Yeah, so amongst the around-the-world deployments that U.S. troops are geared towards, of course, this is a controversial and subject, and I want to talk about it just a little bit, is how do our viewers and our listeners out there feel about the recent deployments? I mean, this has been going on probably very, very prevalently the last 15 years or so, so it rolls into several different presidencies. What does our listeners feel about the Guard deployments within our own states and our own cities, right? Because I hear mixed reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I've heard people on the news broadcasts, civilians in D.C. saying we need it, saying that this is something that the crime is out of control.
Right.
I've heard people say that, on the other side of the scope, we don't want them here. This seems like it's a third world country with military standing all over the place and
right.
Right. So what do you feel out there, listeners? How do you think you would feel if the National Guard was deployed into Northwest Indiana to let's say suppress some of these what are they called, these teen
pop-ups or
these
where
teen
they go and
outrages or like they were doing at the beaches and stuff over
where they go
the
and
weekend.
Break things, and
it's just wild, and it's happening in Chicago. It's happening all over the country, and obviously there's a level of parenthood that needs to be put into accountability there, as well as just this is not normal.
Well, they just had some 10-year-olds, and I think it was Valpo or Chesterton, went into a building and broke all the windows and all this stuff. They caught them on security cameras, so somebody knows who these kids are. And 10 years old.
Jeez.
Yeah, they were like fifth graders.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like a horror movie.
Yeah, right? Children of the Corn or something.
I don't know. That's pretty young.
But I think if, they know who these kids are, and in my opinion, they should make these kids work off whatever they...
whatever
they destroyed. I mean, we've got to teach young people that their actions have consequences first.
Yeah.
But right now... in my opinion, all you hear is, "Oh, my little baby would never do that."
Yeah.
Or you've got parents who show up with their children for a job interview.
Yeah.
And expect to go into HR with the job. I mean, like
something else.
What is that?
So my son said something to me the other day that really made me feel good, and he's been in karate since he was like 6, and it's something that we put him in because it's structured. It's kind of militant, It's got that backbone and discipline. And what he said to me was, because he's been playing soccer and now he's going into high school, so it's more demanding. It's every day.
Yeah.
So it's either like, listen, you play high school sports or you go to karate. Which you could pick karate back up after high school.
Right.
You can't come back into high school and play high school sports. So you make your decision.
Right.
So he's choosing high school sports for now. He'll get back into karate. And he's a brown belt, so he's very, very well established. And anyways, he said, I really like going to karate a couple days a week because I feel like it helps me stay disciplined. It helps me, even though I don't really want to do it most of the time, it helps me stay structured. I have more control over like my emotion when I have that session a couple times a week.
Is he like 15, 16?
Yeah, he's almost 15.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 14.
Wow.
But so then, I've got him kind of convinced that he should join the military. And he's like a straight A student, so
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to go to the Air Force, kid. You're smart.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
a dumb old sand
Right.
kicker like your old man, right? Unless you want literally you join the military to kick butt, maybe you go Special Forces or Marines. But
Yeah.
if you want to join the military just for some discipline and some structure of your life into the future as an adult. Hit up the Air Force. They'll teach you some good stuff.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you get out, you can be real valuable to society.
Absolutely.
But I say all that to say that, with all of these Guard deployments, the National Guard all over the country, going into these different states, and these teen get-togethers where they're, breaking stuff and causing this outrage and stopping traffic, and it's like, if you just raise your kids in a way that shows respect for the place that we live in our country with a little bit of discipline, we won't have these issues.
Right.
And again, not everybody's from a society of wealth, right? But you don't have
to be wealthy
exactly.
to discipline your children.
Even if you're in a poverty situation, right, you can raise your kids right.
Right.
There's plenty of farmers in the history of our country in the 1800s
Right.
that raised their kids right.
Yeah.
That didn't have a dime to throw at. Yeah,
Right.
But
and me when I was growing up in the 70s, and we were out all the time. We were never home, and we were out with our friends doing whatever, playing ball, trying to build a tree house or something, just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Kid stuff,
Right.
We didn't destroy people's property.
Yeah.
And part of that is it goes back to the old neighborhood too, because if I got in trouble and my neighbor saw me do something I wasn't supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
oh, there was heck to pay.
Oh yeah.
Because
Take you home by the ear.
Oh, yeah.
Or spank them yourself.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you got it again when you got home.
Yeah.
So there was that sense of community that I think we've lost in this country.
Yeah. I agree 100%. And you still have that in some smaller communities. I do believe that the region gets a little saturated now. It's so big. It's more like the outskirts of a city at this point. A lot of you older generation remember when St. John had 5,000 people in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of the bigger cities in the region now.
Yeah, I was just driving through there yesterday, and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at all these houses.
Oh yeah.
And all the construction going on.
I'm like, where do all these people work?
Yeah, right?
I'm like, well, I want to do what they're doing.
I think they're going to need to build another school.
I'm looking at these houses like, whoa.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Crown Point, Lake
Yeah.
Central, they're bigger than they ever have been.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yep.
Huge.
All right, and speaking of families taking care of their children, we have family dental care, where veterans receive free exams, x-rays, cleanings, and a 10% discount on all other services. They have 8 convenient locations in the Chicagoland region. You can call their their Munster office at 219-804-9329, or you can go to FamilyDentalCare.com and find one near you. They do great work there. We have Ron J. Prestemer Insurance Company for all your insurance needs. Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting after it.
Auto, home, life, health, business, and more at 219-844-0103. We have Kuziak Construction at 1235 Summer Street in Hammond. And you can reach him at 219-923-3007. Then we have Heroes Helping Heroes, Northwest Indiana, at heroeshelpingheroesin.com. You can contact their founder, Rich Tokars, at 219-670-2501. Rich does some amazing work in the region. He's a great guy. White Oak Home Care, 9800 Connecticut Drive in Crown Point. You can reach them at 219-999-5869, or you can go on their website at whiteoakhomecare.com.
Yeah, so thank you to all the contributors to keep us running and get us out there. So there's Stars and Stripes. So most anybody that's been on deployment has gotten the Stars and Stripes because they provide that to most of the deployment sites. I find it to be a reputable source, of course. And so they did a study as to the recent Washington, D.C. Guard deployments. And their study comes back that it was positive, and there wasn't so much movement in certain aspects, but 24% reduction in property damage.
Wow.
Okay, theft, vandalism. So basically, if there's a troop standing there, they're less likely to steal your car or
Right.
spray paint your building.
Yeah.
Okay, but what they didn't affect was the violent crime.
Oh.
So violent crime was unmoved based off of research. There was a visibly high presence, yet still, of violent crime. And you would say this: most violent crime is done in private.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, it's. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, we have these scenarios with this terrible stuff going around the country with schools and public things
Yeah.
going on out in the middle of the street.
Most people don't murder somebody in front of other people.
Right. Yeah. But the most violent crime is done
Yeah.
behind closed doors
yeah.
or in a secluded area. So again, this just comes down to a very, very expensive taxpayer debt to deploy National Guard all over the country into these scenarios that we want to affect violent crime.
Right. Right.
And it great, you know, they're not stealing cars and they're not spray painting your building, and but you know, does that pay for the
Is the payoff worth it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But, you know, I think this goes back to what we used to have back in the day was community policing. You know, you used to have cops that walked a beat. You know,
Yeah.
you have, I know in Hammond they have a couple, Lieutenant Mickey is wonderful. She's got promoted. But anyway.
Nice.
So congratulations, Sergeant or Lieutenant Mickey.
LT.
Yep. And anyway, they, you know, they have some familiar faces, but they don't have enough, you know. And so many people want to, you know, they want to abolish the police and all this nonsense. But who's the first person you call when somebody breaks into your house?
Yeah, I'll say
You
that
know?
I love Griffith Police.
Yeah.
I think they are just, and actually we have a very healthy police department, one of the healthiest in the state compared
cool.
to population. And you know what? They pull you over. They're respectful. They understand. Like, if you're a Griffith resident, they know.
Oh, okay.
You know, and if you're an out of towner and you shouldn't be there, they know that too.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
But
good.
and I'm assuming it's like Hammond.
Yeah.
You know, even though Hammond's a much bigger city, it's very community in this
Yeah.
this town. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the feel of Hammond. Anytime anybody ever said anything on Facebook about Hammond's this and Hammond's that
Yeah.
because of the Bears, I'm like, you obviously haven't been into the city in the last 30 years.
Right.
Because it has changed.
It's
since
come
I
a
was
long
kid.
way.
A lot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
come a long way. There's more to do here than there ever was.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know?
just the area beautification is just transformed.
Yeah,
it's something completely different than
Yeah.
it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And I'd feel safe buying a home in Hessville or Hammond area. So.
Yep. And, you know, and Hammond gets a bad rap a lot of times throughout the state. I know when I go downstate for things and you know, I tell them I'm from Hammond, they're like,
It's the region
Yeah,
that gets
the region-
bad
the
rap.
whole region,
You
you're
know,
right,
it's
you're right.
because we're all bordered. It's just like Griffith and Hobart. Our borders are shared with Gary, and Gary gets a bad rap. But there's a lot of nice parts of Gary too.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've seen some really homes being redone, completely gutted and redone and for sale now. And I think that's great.
I do too. And when you drive up Fifth Avenue, you know, you get clogged on 8094 and you say, you know what, I'm just gonna take the E-way north and hit Fifth Avenue, go past the Rail Cats,
Yeah.
go uptown Gary. Like that has changed tremendously
Yeah.
over the last 20, 30 years
Right.
since I was a kid. And
It's got a long way to go, but they're
It does.
moving in the right direction.
it does.
You know?
And I guess, you know, it's all correlated to here. We're in the region and we support our local veterans community, but you know what local veterans do? We give back to the community.
Absolutely.
And we create, you know, North Township roundtables, and we create American Legions that do different services to beautify different areas, data centers in Hammond, or these things that we're coming out with as a veteran community. It's bar none to any other organization.
Yeah.
I mean, we're so strong, and when we talk about our region, I'm proud. I love it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And that's just one thing that I think can't fly under the radar with the local radio station and local veterans views and our local supporters and contributors that keep us on the radio is that we're all after the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all after a good quality of life, support from our government, support for our troops, pride in our country and the red, white, and blue.
Right.
And that really is why I come here every Friday, so that we have a voice and that the listeners out there can hear and say, this is what's going on with this bill. Why are we getting into Israel's business?
Yeah.
Why
are they getting into ours?
Why is the National Guard deploying all over the country when they're not really making a violent crime effect?
Right.
Why do this and that, like things that are pertaining to veterans in our everyday lives?
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, you know what? I got great service at the VA in Crown Point. I love it. I love the VA in Crown Point.
They're
you know,
good.
But it's also, hey, bringing on the VA rep and talking about some of the new things that are coming out and all these different laws that are continuously coming out for our coverage. They want a $1 trillion DOD budget now. You know?
Wow. Yeah.
And we were just on this show a couple years ago saying, wow, they want an $800 billion. Right now, $200 billion inflation rate goes up in 2 years.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy! Now we're talking about $1 trillion just for one section of the
budget.
government.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
$1 trillion budget.
That would fill this room.
We're paying $1 trillion in interest on our national debt right now every year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's crazy. And you know, there's I forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, there's you know, there's a sense of pride coming from the region. You know, we get so many times, you know, when you travel to other parts of the state and you tell them where you're from, they're like, oh, you guys have nothing but corrupt politicians. I'm like, oh, Indianapolis doesn't have any?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it when people, you know, because I'm in the Guard, right? So
Right.
all over the state, they see the region differently. Every time I go to a unit, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're from the region. You're from the region. That's
Yeah.
where this and that is from." It's like,
Right.
listen, man, if you knew our community up there and you knew how we were, we are tight.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I like it up here. I love it up here, and we are getting after making everything better. And decade after decade, I see progression here. And it's just beautiful, like you said. Look at
Yeah.
St. John.
Yeah.
Look at these cities that have just
You know, and
grown.
so many people in other parts of the state think that we are a suburb of Chicago, which I hate that designation. We are not.
Right.
We have our own. Maybe it's because this is the only blue part of the state. I don't know.
Well, us in Indy, right?
Yeah, us in Indy. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just degrading. I don't want to be part of Chicago. If I did, I would move over the border.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to pay Cook County.
I don't want to pay those
taxes.
taxes. And now they're coming out with a new law. If you have too many speeding tickets, they're going to put a thing in your car and fine you every time you go over the speed limit.
It's wild.
Like,
you can't even go into Illinois without getting a speeding ticket or one of those traffic lights will misread your plate, and it's just like, wow.
I got pulled over one time on the Skyway, and the guy saw my military license plate, and he says, "Is that for you?" I was like, "Yeah," and he was a Marine, and he says, "Tell me your first general order."
Ooh.
I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
You know, to walk my post in a military manner. You know,
There you go.
I still kind of remembered a lot of it because I mean they drill those in your head. You have to memorize those for everything, but it's that kind of thing is neat. You know, and but it doesn't always happen.
Right.
You know? I mean, you know.
I'll tell you what, I've been let go quite a few times on a warning. Even just a verbal warning.
Yeah.
I feel like because I'm a veteran.
Yeah.
And what I do, right or wrong, what I do is I pull out my military ID, like at first.
Yeah.
And then I put my not that one. Then I grab my license and give it to my driver's license, so that they know that I'm still like, hey, this guy's still active. Like, he's still got it going on.
That's funny.
You know.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll work with you. Sometimes they just gotta bug up their butt and they don't want to.
Yeah.
They got I don't know if they have quotas anymore, but they used to.
I don't know. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I got a ticket. Actually, the last time I got a ticket was a good friend of mine, and we've had him on the show. He gave me a ticket like 7 years ago before we even knew each other. I got a ticket in Griffith for a seatbelt.
Oh.
And I mean, I'm a '80s baby, so it was hard for me at first to not get used to the seatbelt, right?
Me too.
But obviously now I wear it every day, and the kids, they wear it, and be a good example for the kids. But I said, well, I'm on active duty right now, because I was on orders, and I was kind of scared.
Yeah.
Cause like I'm gonna get in trouble for something more than just whatever the seatbelt is. I don't know. I just got nervous, right? Because I'm on orders, and if I get in any sort of trouble,
right, yeah.
Not that I was doing anything wrong, but he's like, well, are you on orders like at like Fort Hood or like Camp Atterbury? And I'm like, Camp
Oh.
Atterbury. And he was like,
he knew.
He's like, you're not on real order. So he's like,
Yeah.
you know what? Put your seatbelt on here. I'll give you a
Yeah.
$25 ticket. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, man.
Well, you know, back when I was on active duty, we'd go into Camp Pendleton, and they're talking about seatbelts, and we would all just take our seatbelt and put it over our chest, and as soon as we went through the gate, it was off.
Yeah.
Well, what got me to wear my seatbelt was in the Marine Corps, we had this thing called the seatbelt convincer, and it was basically a chair on a slide, and it would simulate you hitting a brick wall at different speeds.
Oh, wow.
The first time was 10 miles an hour without a seatbelt. Man, I rolled out of that seat right onto the mat.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad. And
Yeah.
then they did it with a seatbelt on, and I didn't move.
Yeah.
And then they did it at 30 miles an hour. It's
Yeah. You
oh, yeah.
killed.
Yeah. So that was, that convinced me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've worn my seatbelt ever since then.
Yeah, and we have those rollover machines that basically it's like a Humvee that's on like a spindle. Think about like a rotary spindle, like you're roasting a lamb or something over a fire, right? And it just spins the Humvee, and you're in it with all your battle rattle. It's a rollover simulation.
Wow.
But it's like it'll mess you up.
I bet.
If you're not strapped in.
So do you now? You were over in the Middle East. Do people in a combat situation are they wearing seatbelts?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably dependent on how much gear you got.
Okay.
When you're in full battle rattle, it's really hard to put a seatbelt.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah. And you're lucky to have any sort of AC, and you need to be quick reaction.
Yeah.
And those
Yeah,
Humvees,
true.
they don't really go very fast.
Yeah.
I tell you. But the new LMTVs and the new vehicles that they're making are super comfortable with air conditioning.
What?
Like, they got it. They got it going
Our
on.
air conditioning in the Jeep was just taking the roof off.
Oh, these things are incredible. I'll show you some
Yeah.
really cool videos
Okay.
that I have of some of these vehicles. And
Wow.
they're very comfortable. Yeah, and they've got more like, I will say, like C-130 type seatbelts where they're over the shoulder,
like
around the waist,
the racing harness kind of thing.
Exactly.
With like maybe a quick release or
Exactly.
something.
Make it quick to just throw the
Yeah.
thing off, and they've got weapon mounts in them now. So it's completely different than it
Yeah.
was, during the initial invasion of the early 2000s, or even back in your day.
Well,
when
back
you
in
were around,
back in
right?
2000, they didn't even have armor.
Right, they were putting their own
Yeah.
plate chests
Yeah.
on the doors, the
Right.
soft Humvees.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now it's mandatory, at least from my experience, to have up armor vehicles out there.
Yeah,
and all
good.
up armors have air conditioning.
Because you can't roll the windows down.
Most of them work, I
Yeah.
would say, but a lot of them don't.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's so hot out there. You
Oh,
die in
yeah.
those Humvees
Yeah.
for sure.
Plus, you're in your uniform with all your battle gear. and
Yeah, it's
That
incredible.
stuff is really hot. So.
Yeah, so we're coming to the end of the show here. We just got a couple of minutes, and
right.
we're just kind of touch on a couple events that we have coming up and all over the region. So I know the North Township Roundtable is doing a 4th annual golf outing. Entry includes 18 holes of golf at the beautiful Wicker Park. And, of course, that is, you could get a golf cart, beverage tickets. It's all included. Cost is $80 per golfer, $320 for a foursome. That's Saturday, June 13th. Of course, it's open to the public at Wicker Park Memorial Golf Course on Ridge Road in Highland. If you didn't know here, there's a point of contact that you can call Kelly Bridges, 219-313-3934, to get your last-minute sign-ups going. And I encourage you to get out there, enjoy the weather. I will try to attend. I've told the team that I'll be there available to volunteer. So it'll be a good thing, and it's a great fundraiser for a great cause. And anything that's brought up to this is a nonprofit organization for the North Township Roundtable, and we use those funds typically for things like your hero flights, okay, and supporting individual veterans that may not have a refrigerator or an oven or a dishwasher.
Right.
There's things that this organization does at the North Township's Veterans Roundtable that are really affecting our local community. So, so get out there and golf and have some fun at Wicker Park on June 13th. Also brought to you by the Veterans Roundtable. Okay.
Right. And if you're not a golfer, out at the Lowell VFW in Lowell, Indiana, they are having a 22-a-day motorcycle ride. And you can even ride if you're not You can drive your if you don't want to ride, if you're not a rider, you can pay $10 for the food. They're going to have music, food. It's just going to be a party after the ride. Kickstands up at 11. You can register at 9. $30 for a single and $40 if you got a passenger.
Awesome.
So it's a good. I've done those before. I can't ride anymore, but I've done those before, and they're a lot of fun. The camaraderie is amazing, and everybody, they share their stories, and that's what I like.
That's the best part about those things.
Yeah,
getting together and.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You get everybody's stories, and 22 a Day is a great organization. Something we got to do a deeper dive on, I think, is why are we losing still to this day so many veterans to suicide? Why?
Yeah.
Why? We didn't have this back in. You didn't hear about this after World War I, World War II, Vietnam, or Korea. So why now? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is it multiple deployments? I don't know. But anyway, we can't.
Yeah, it could be. It could be but these World War II veterans, like I said, they're still here. Got 99 years old. They've been through some serious stuff.
Oh, yeah. They may have only had one deployment, but it lasted 4 years.
Yeah. And they're thousands of friends and whatever that no longer are around. So. And
speaking of suicide, if you are in crisis, please, please, please call 988-1. And you can talk to a veteran who can help you. And if you ever are in crisis when we're on the air, please call in, and we will help you as best we can. We will point you in the right direction and get you the help you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, July 1st, like it or love it or hate it, but you probably like it because if you're 100% disabled, you will now get your property taxes in the state of Indiana taken care of.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. So July 1st, get to your local VSO, Jason, over there at Lake County.
Yep.
He's downstairs. Get your 10% or 10% to 90% or at 100%. Get it verified by the VSO's office and then take it up to the clerk's office and get your property tax credit enrolled. So, again, 100% annual property tax deduction for 100% disabled.
Yep. And you got to make sure you bring your disability letter.
Bring that letter.
Rating on it.
You got to bring that letter because that's what they stamp when you take it upstairs. So it shouldn't be too hard to get down there. I'm sure they'll have the stamp ready to verify your letter. But if you go there without the letter, they're not even going to stamp it for you, and you have to go home and print one out.
Yep.
Okay? So make sure we all do that. And then I will just say, as always, that it's an honor to be here every week, volunteer on Veterans Views radio show, long-standing, award-winning radio show. We are here 0900 every Friday without a miss, and we love to bring you the local military news as well as nationwide, worldwide military news, and we are going to continue to do this as long as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an honor to be asked to be on this show every week, and it's I love doing it.
That's right. I'm Chief Robert Rockwell, and this is Commander Donna Ostrander, and we are going to sign out until next week.
Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Good night, Chesty, wherever you are.